Retail media has definitely been shifting, expanding, maturing over the past year. One of the things that I've seen on the Instacart side is that we're seeing an incredible rise of retail media, but also a rise of fragmentation and complexity. And so what we've been doing is, from day one, we were a marketplace. We're focused on multiple retailers, 1,800 retailers on our marketplace, a lot of different inventory, different availability of products, different consumer behavior. And so we really started from the beginning thinking about how can we drive value across a very diverse set of inventory, diverse set of consumer interests. And so we've really been taking that foundation and starting to expand it beyond our platform, looking at how we can power ad solutions for retailers to build their own retail media networks, making it easy for brands and agencies to buy in one place as a one-stop shop. And as you mentioned, going beyond even that, starting to look at in the store. It's a huge opportunity, a huge, largely untapped area for retail media to kind of bring the best of online back into the store. That's what we're doing with our smart caper carts, which have a screen on the front of them. The consumer is able to shop naturally in the store using a cart that that feels very familiar, but it has all of this information around what you've just put into your cart, which aisle you're turning into. And also it has closed loop information with payments happening on the cart. So this is an incredible opportunity to take that foundation of retail media and expand it into the store. And then furthermore, what we're seeing, especially in the last year, is having set a lot of the foundations for off-platform expansion. So now retail media is not just about on-platform, it's about taking that strong purchase information, the ability to close the loop, the ability to optimize and target a higher intent audience. You're now able to do that beyond the walls of just on-platform advertising. And at Instacart, we're no different. We're very much embracing this as a big opportunity, using that foundation of what we think is a really highly differentiated data set, using that data from across 1,800 retailers and that national scale to help advertisers extend the value of retail media well beyond just on-platform placements.
So as you expand off-platform, what does strong execution look like? What are the facets that make a strong execution?
What we've found is it's really important to focus on ease of use and access. So as I mentioned, we've seen this incredible fragmentation and complexity in retail media that we on the Instacart side are trying to simplify. And one of the ways where we see that fragmentation is in activating off-platform. There are many, many different DSPs and different data sets that are requiring a lot of brands and agencies to work through multiple providers. What we've done is we've actually listened to brands and agencies asking us, where do they want to see our data available, and how do we make it as easy as possible to activate? So over the past few months, we've really deepened our partnerships with key partners in the space, like TikTok and the Trade Desk, where we focused a lot on self-service access and activation of our audiences and data. So for example, with TikTok, what we focused on is directly in TikTok Ads Manager, we're going to be able to make it really easy for brands to buy using Instacart audiences and data, close the loop, optimize with that information without ever leaving the TikTok Ads Manager where they're already buying. The same with Trade Desk. We've actually made our full catalog available to the Trade Desk, and it's possible now for brands and agencies in their own Trade Desk seat to use Instacart data to build audiences and get real-time measurement without needing to jump through a bunch of managed service hoops or jump across platforms. And so that's where I'm really starting to see this maturity in best-in-class solutions and the ability to make it just really easy to apply all that value of retail media data wherever brands and agencies already are.
Looking at the value of the retail media data that you have access to, after a few years where it was nonstop talk about clean room technology and data collaboration, didn't really hear too much about that last year comparatively, but I believe Instacart has some news about that, and how are you advancing clean room data?
So it's the year of the clean room. It's going to happen now. So certainly it has a very specific application. This can be more tech forward brands and agencies who are really looking to get into the details. So what we've started to offer in this space and what we've announced here at CES this week is our Instacart Data Hub. And so the Instacart Data Hub is all about making that breadth and depth and more granular access to Instacart's data available to brands and agencies that want to get into more granular details and also marry it with their own first-party data. This is increasingly important as we start to see the rise of all of these off-platform activations. And of course, brands have incredibly valuable data of their own that they want to make sure that they're matching with our order data and understanding lifetime value and additional new to brand metrics or new definitions of metrics that might match better how they're measuring success internally. And so what we found is that by making this data accessible, of course in a privacy safe way and in an environment where we can safely protect consumer data, we can still offer this more granular access that can then help our partners activate those audiences on platforms of their choice, or just simply get a better understanding of the analytics that really matter to them. So while clean rooms are not necessarily going to be for everyone everywhere, it's not the most scalable solution in the world, we think it's a really important component of making our data accessible.
Ali, earlier you mentioned about the maturation that we've seen with retail media. Obviously, there's still a lot of misconceptions out there, so not to put too much pressure on you, but let's address those misconceptions. What do you see that needs to be stamped out?
I would say the main thing that needs to be stamped out as a misconception about retail media at this point is that it's only for e-commerce. It is a capability, as I like to say, not just a certain type of advertising. Of course, on platform, advertising is a huge focus of ours, and we'll continue to invest in all of the optimization and formats and innovation that have really, built the foundations of our platform. We'll be making that, accessible to our retail partners as well, who are using our ads technology. But more and more, this is about getting out of the e-commerce silo. This is about bringing marketing and media folks and traditional agencies into the loop around the power of retail media data to enhance what they're already doing with their own marketing strategies, make it more measurable, get more real-time feedback on how things are performing in terms of actually moving products off the shelves. And so what I would love to see over the course of this year is that this idea that retail media is, a certain type of buy, a certain type of advertising off in a corner somewhere, it's very much grown up from that, and it's really a capability that's threading across the entire funnel.
So with that maturation of retail media, there's also the ubiquity of retail media. Pretty much everyone is setting up their own retail media network. So with Instacart, how do you differentiate? Is it just a matter of the brand identity that just makes it different, or is there anything you're actively doing to differentiate?
In a lot of ways, Instacart is quite unique as a retail media network because we're not a retailer. We're a retail technology platform. And so we've taken that to heart in how we've built our ad solution. So like I mentioned, we've invested a lot from the very beginning in supporting different types of inventories, different store locations, large, small, all types of consumer behavior across our marketplace of 1,800 retailers. And now what we've been able to do is, because we work so closely with retail partners to power their websites, to power their capabilities in e-commerce more broadly, we're able to take these ad solutions and offer them to partners like Thrive Market, like Uber Eats Grocery, like Hy-Vee, and several others that are 240 plus sites now that are using our technology to create and manage their own retail media networks, but also make it so much easier for brands to buy across a broader swath of retail media inventory without needing to think about activating each of those hundreds of networks individually. So that, for me, is really what sets Instacart apart. It's an ecosystem rather than just one retail-specific retail media network, and we think that that's going to help drive a lot of value, a lot of efficiency, and a lot more simplification in an area of the industry that I think really needs it.